Man, I think if people were confused by Kendrick Lamar's performance last year, wait till they get a whole halftime performance that's not in English. This
Right.
is what I'm looking forward to. What'd he say? What'd he say? All right, we officially have our Super Bowl halftime performer for 2026, Samaria. I'm excited for this, not necessarily because of the music, because I think it's going to make a lot of people very upset and confused. So Bad Bunny has officially been announced as the halftime performer. In a social media post, he said, quote, "I've been thinking about it these days, and after discussing it with my team, I'll do just one date in the United States." This is obviously in reference to his decision to skip touring the country due to the president's use of ICE, for immigration crackdown. And so a political statement in conjunction with, just one of the biggest artists in the world doing halftime. Samaria, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not very familiar with Bad Bunny's music.
Bad Bunny.
However, I do feel like,
You got to say Bad Bunny. Sorry.
however, I will say though that, it makes sense though. Like when you look at the things that he's been able to accomplish, he's like one of the most streamed artists right now in the world. I think he just broke a record with his past performance on Amazon Music or something like that. I need to go look that up. But it makes sense to have somebody of his stature headline a halftime show. The NFL always wants viewership, and this is a great way to do it. Obviously, the big conversation right now is ICE because he says that he does not want to perform in the United States because of that. But I do feel like Kendrick Lamar's performance last year kind of set precedent for maybe having performances that are a little bit more political, not just outright political, but there's like some little, you know what I mean? Like it was like really subtle, I feel like last year. And maybe
Was it subtle?
Bad Bunny's team. Well, to some people they thought it was subtle. Some people didn't really catch it. Like they didn't catch it. We caught it, but some people didn't catch it. But maybe him seeing that or them kind of talking through it, they said, okay, we can make an impact. We can make a statement with our performance about things that we don't really necessarily agree with regarding the way that the United States is deporting people.
Man, I think if people were confused by Kendrick Lamar's performance last year, wait till they get a whole halftime performance that's not in English.
Right.
This is what I'm looking forward to. What'd he say? What'd he say? That's the part. I'm looking forward to the reaction videos from halftime next year more than anything. I actually like Bad Bunny's music. I don't know what the hell he be saying, but it sound good. So he could be calling me all kinds of curse words and I wouldn't even know it because he does have a bop. He is the biggest male artist on the face of the planet right now. If I don't think that's hyperbolic. I think, he's done I think he did a 30, maybe a 40-day opening or 40-day tour act all in Puerto Rico. So it wasn't even a tour. He just stayed in Puerto Rico and everybody was flying in, sold out every night. The amount of people that attend his shows globally is just absolutely insane. So from a global standpoint, he is a bigger artist than even the Kendrick Lamar. And I think Jay and Rock Nation and everybody who's been a part of figuring out the halftime entertainment is obviously going out of their way to not put a white performer at halftime. This has been a thing. It's a theme, sort of. Many people thought it would be Taylor Swift, right? That didn't happen. And so now the conversation is, who is going to be the next white artist to perform at Super Bowl halftime?
Do you feel it's because historically there have been so many that maybe they feel like they are trying to make up for the lack of diversity within the halftime performing space? Because you are right. Like I mean, I'm trying to think back. We had Kendrick, we had Rihanna, we had Usher. It's kind of
Eminem kind of counts. Dr. Dre.
Oh, then we had the whole. Yep, we had the whole
West
like
Coast.
LA West Coast.
Who is the Caucasian artist that would fit the bill? Obviously, you would say Taylor Swift. But let's say, she's worried about her wedding and maybe having children, whatever, so she's not available. Who is next on the run?
See, nationally, you could say somebody like Morgan Wallen. It has to be like a big country star. Somebody like that, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know internationally, besides someone like Taylor Swift, who we've seen do international tours and then they sell out.
There's slim pickings out there for, Adele. You could do Adele maybe, but is that too sleepy? Is that too sleepy
Oh
for a halftime
yeah,
performer? You know,
yeah,
maybe a
she
Harry
doesn't have enough
Styles.
upbeat.
Regardless, you know, there's
Yeah.
a it seems that the NFL is being very intentional about having an inclusive halftime performance.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think from a social media standpoint, the drivers of conversation on social media tend to be a specific demographic. And while even a Morgan Wallen is a huge superstar, I don't think he'll generate eyeballs. And the social media and the social media impact that some of these other artists have. Like, it's a reactionary thing at this point. Let me give y'all somebody who's going to create a response online, because that's when you really get to up your ad dollars, when there's a swell of
Hmm.
conversation. And so, yeah,
And
I
that's
think
Bad
that,
Bunny for sure.
yeah, so I think the NFL
Yeah.
recognizes, oh, our main demographic isn't really the one that people that creates conversation. Like, you know, you would get a country singer, you know, but that doesn't really, it doesn't really bode well. I don't know, Lady Gaga.
Ooh, Gaga.
I wouldn't be
I
mad at
love Lady
Gaga.
Gaga. Yeah, so we know that he is going to be the first male Latin performer to headline a Super Bowl. That's huge.
Is that
And
true?
maybe,
Ricky
yes.
Martin never. Ricky Martin. No, didn't Jennifer Lopez's ex husband? What's his name?
What, Mark Anthony?
Yeah, he never did Super Bowl.
He may not have been a headliner.
Well, like I
Because I
see him
feel like
up
before
there.
they used to have like multiple people
Okay.
during the Super Bowls, but he is the first male Latin headliner of the Super Bowl. And I wonder if the NFL is trying to kind of tap into this international base that they're starting. We've seen them in recent years do these international games, but they're trying to do a lot more of them in the upcoming seasons. Do you feel like that may be
Well, Bad Bunny
they're
is
trying to
American.
play
I
into that?
just want to go on record. He's American, but
Technically, but he's not repping the USA. He's repping Puerto Rico.
there is an international play that the NFL is trying to participate in. You know, they had games in
Mhm.
Dublin. Obviously, they're doing their annual
Yes.
games in Brazil, which I think is really sneaky. I think somebody in the NFL office is a little freaky, but because why we go to Brazil every year?
Says the person who likes Brazil.
Yeah, but I also know that certain people, when they go to Brazil, they go crazy. I don't participate, but I know what it look
Okay.
like
They have
optically.
the London games. I'm not listening to you. They have the
Yeah,
London games.
yeah.
And I actually saw that they're like all 32 teams have been granted access to different countries. Like there's like a whole list on Wikipedia, and it's not just like the main countries that we've seen, but there's like Nigeria on there, Ghana, Switzerland, New Zealand. Like it's like they're really trying to go everywhere. I don't know how this is going to bode well for the players themselves, because I feel like that's a lot to
Yeah.
travel and then play a game. But
And then even
they
flag
really trying
football.
to.
I said, then even flag football. Like we talked about, you know, the
Oh
flag
yeah.
football game being in Saudi Arabia, featuring a lot of NFL
Hmm.
players. If the NFL is able to globalize their game, then their business is gonna like go insane. Obviously, we know that soccer, football, you know, is the world sport. But if American football can figure out how to penetrate other markets internationally and create legitimate business outside of America, then they are going
Yeah.
to be, man, that's going to make so much money, because, you know, the rest of the world doesn't play football. They don't have football fields. It's just not a thing. You know, the closest thing they get to it is kind of rugby. And, you know, we've seen some rugby players make the transition from what the pitch, I believe is called, to the gridiron. But by and large, man, it's a completely untapped market outside of the US for football. And so I think it is a good business strategy. I just don't know if you could have, you know, the rest of the world, because they kind of smaller than us. I'm just being honest. We some big jokers in America because we eat bad food. I just don't know if the rest of the world physically can compete with us. But, you know, flag football, all of these things that are popping up, that'll be in the Olympics, I think will bode well from just having some sort of NFL football presence globally.
All right. Well, you heard what we had to say about Bad Bunny, but we now want to hear from you. What do you make of him being the first male Latin performer to headline the Super Bowl 2026 in San Francisco? Drop down in the comments and let us know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then make sure you all follow our newsletter. The link is in the bio, keeping you updated on all things in the world of sports.